And in the last episode, I want to mention some points and tips about linking and importing the CAD files. We talked about the advantages and disadvantages of each, the differences, but about the settings of import, as you can see, if I click on this, then import line weight window will appear, as you can see, which enables us to control the line weights based on the index colors. As you can see, we got 255 colors, and each of these color numbers can be associated to a specific line weight on the condition that the line weights of your CAD files must be set to default or by default. So if there is a set line weight for your files, then you cannot assign these on them. But what does it mean? Let's move on. Here in AutoCAD software, when we draw a plan, for instance, from the plugin of Wacky Arc, I adjust the units per meter. Afterwards, from walls, however, we can use the shortcut, but I want to use this tool. I choose wall, then I start drawing it from the origin point, F8, to use ortho, and locking the orientation, 8, 5, 4, and in this part I close the loop. Again, I select WW enter, then for the thickness 10 centimeters. Afterwards, the interior wall and another one, like this way. Check it out. And afterwards, I can use door, plan, windows and doors, and S enter. I want to specify the door style, and for the switch center, actually C enter, and W for the width, 1.1 for the width, and 10 centimeters offset, and okay. Check it out. And for the another room, and one door, S enter to choose another style of door. For instance, this type of door I added there for the entrance, and then from windows, open window, then I add some windows here, like this way. Then each of these elements or each of these categories are placed in different categories, in different layers, that their line weights have been set to default. Okay, and we can choose a color for each of the layers. I can turn the layer off. As you can see, this is related to the openings or the arcs, and this is related to the seal heights. Then let me choose red for the color of the walls, like this way. And then red, as you can see, the index color is 1. And for the windows, yellow. I move on. Then for the seal height, ID 8. For opening, ID 8. And the color number of the leaf, I can choose 3 color number. And after doing this, so right now their line weights have been set to default. Then I save the file. In this part, let me see, plan, I assign the name line weights by this way, save, and then I copy the file path. We get back to Revit. Then just check the color numbers based on the layers. 7, 1, 2, 3, and 7 and 8. These are the color numbers for the layers. Then we get back. As you can see, the line weights have been set to 1. I mean, if I import this file, mirror, and OK, watch this. I unpin it. As you can see, the line weights are default and they are all the same. But if we want to customize the line weights for each of the color numbers, we open the import line. So we can load one of the default standards. For instance, import line weights default. I copy this and then I want to paste it here. Since I should paste it in another file location to be able to edit it. And when we open the document file, we got all of the color numbers from 1 to 255. I specify 5 for the first color number, and then for number 2, which is color, I have chosen yellow upon the windows. So we don't need this. Let me see. Number 2, I specify 3. Watch this. I can choose 7 for the first one to increase the line weight, 5 and 5, and then for the 7 color number 7, I set 3 and 3 for 8. Then I save this document based on the color numbers of 1 to 255 that we used 1, 3, 7, and 8. Let me check the color numbers. 8. Okay, let's move on. And it doesn't matter. I select this, copy, then we get back to Revit. Then I want to replace it. Continue. However, if you wanted to cancel it, you can rename the default one. Let me rename it default dash origin. Continue, and then I can replace it since we can keep the default option. Watch this, the IDs for the line weights are specified right now. However, we can edit them here and then save them as to use them in other projects. Anyway, we import the file again and let's continue. I must copy the full file path and then open. Watch this. The line weights are changed based on the specified values in import line weights and the color numbers. This is very useful for when you are importing some 2D details into your files and then you want to specify different types of line weights for the layers. However, I understand sometimes we just import some files that we don't want to keep them for a long time. But there are some files that we're gonna place them, we're gonna use them for a long term. So the line weights for such a file do matter for us. And this is very important for us to be capable to control the line weights that we can use this method. But note that you have to set the line weights for these color numbers and layers to default. If you choose one, then you won't be able to assign your own line weights in Revit because the default option is no more specified for it. This is very important.